Welcome to Living Magically. I'm Michelle, your co-host, and today I am bringing in one of my absolute favorite new people that I've met in the last month, and her name is Andrea Isaacs, and she is an emotional mastery mentor. And I thought it would be really important to you to meet her because she is one of those people that absolutely inspires me to live more magically.
Oh, I'm so glad that it did that for you. Yay.
Your speech at the Soulful Leadership Retreat literally had me on the edge of my seat. And I love how you were bringing somatic, physical embodiment to the work that you do. So I'd love to have you tell me just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into a couple other questions.
Well, thank you for your comment about my talk, which, by the way, was called Soar in 24. And actually, soaring is a theme that's been on my mind since, well, for months, preparing for the talk, giving the talk, and ever since it. And one of the things that I've recognized is that as a child, I had a recurring dream, which was flying. I would fly. And then I would often fall out of my bed because I don't know, maybe I woke up and I didn't believe, I don't know what happened, but I would fall out of my bed. And the joy of flying, I mean, just think about that for a moment, what it might feel like if we could fly. And I know at my talk, I had everybody stretch your wingspan and just feel the updraft of the wind and being able to ride the updraft. And I pointed out that the albatross can fly 3,000 miles without flapping. So anyway, the theme of soaring has been with me. And I believe in my bones that we all deserve to soar in our lives. And that for me, that's living magically. Soaring in your life is when you're connected to your life purpose. It's when you know what you want. You've got your dreams. You know you deserve your dreams and you're going for them and you achieve them and you're living them. Because when you're living them, you're soaring. And that really is living magically.
I would agree 100%. And I know how did you evolve into living magically for yourself?
Well, it wasn't always like that. I spent decades of my life being painfully shy, afraid to be myself, feeling that I was just not worthy, and getting some early childhood messages that, you're stupid, wrong, you don't belong, and ooh, it just wasn't safe to be me. Some of my
Oh my
favorite
gosh, yes.
yeah, it's a common theme that people don't feel worthy. And I've seen that over and over again. Some of my most favorite things to do as a kid were things that got me outside of being me. Like I loved horses. Through my whole life, I've loved horses. I remember pretending I was the horse. And boy, I had a great neigh, and and I could rear up on my hind legs and rip out a neigh. And that later, as an adult, I'd be on my bike, I'd pass horses, and I would neigh to them, and they would neigh back to me. So these are elements when I would get outside myself. But when I was with people, having to be me, I was just so afraid to be seen. So it was no surprise, really, that my first professional career was kind of nonverbal. I was a professional dancer. And though, of course, I had to speak to talk to my dancers, when I was on stage, for the most part, I didn't have to use words. It was movement that captured, most often, that captured an emotion that was a human experience. And so I learned decades ago how to have my dancers embody the emotion I wanted them to communicate on stage so it was authentic and powerful. And then fast forward many years, I learned the Enneagram system, which is about personalities and different emotions, different emotional gifts and challenges. And I knew you could explore this beautiful body of work that was presented in a very intellectual way. I knew you could learn it kinesthetically. And so
Yeah.
it just seemed it should exist, and it didn't. So I created a way to teach and to learn it in a body's experience. And because when we experience something, it's bone deep learning that lasts. But what happened next really surprised me because that's when I started to change. I started to create the neural pathway for confidence, for believing in myself, for knowing that I do matter. And that's when the magic started to enter my life.
I love that. And so I'm guessing, actually, I'm not guessing. I know that you have a way that you help other people get that embodiment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So how do you help your clients get more magical, live more
So,
magically?
Well, I have an assessment that's based on the Enneagram, and it gives me 18 scores that show how you've shown up in different emotional realms in your past and present. And it can be a guide to the future you want to create. And I've learned well, so much by looking at these, the blueprint. The blueprint is the result of your quiz. By looking at the blueprint, I've noticed it's not just about typing you, which, the Enneagram is a typology system, but that's a very limiting way to look at it, in my opinion. I noticed that if someone didn't have certain scores, there were reasons that usually went to early life experiences when you received messages that were not empowering. Something like, you don't belong, you're not worthy, I don't have time for what you want, what you need doesn't matter, you don't matter, or something like that. And any of those early life imprints are so powerful because they land on a clean slate and they get repeated again and again and again. And as I know, those repeated patterns get really strong, just like going to a gym and lifting weights. When you go back and you do your reps, your muscles get bigger and stronger. And then you can lift really heavy things quite easily. And those neural pathways that were trained early on have gotten so strong that all the affirmations in the world may not make a change because these old neural pathways, those are wounds that take up room.
Yes.
And there's no room for this new neural pathway. So I created my own way, and then I've also learned other ways of healing those old wounds. In my world, I call it somatic focusing. It's using the body's wisdom to not just to change the neural pathway, but to heal it. So I have a way of going into what the old wound was. So you embody just enough of it to inform an antidote, just like a flu vaccine has flu virus in it. And then you don't get that strain of the flu, but you need to have the correct strain in the vaccine. So your unique wounds have to be informed in terms of the right antidote. So we do the healing first. We do the healing. And then as I know, then when the wounds take up room and then there's space. And I love to ask my clients this question: now that there's space, what's in its place? And often it's something like, I'm free to be me. I'm safe to be me. I'm free to be all that I am, or something like that. And it comes from their soul's desire of what they truly need and want to hear.
Safety is such a big part of it, right? To gain the freedom we are all desiring. We all want freedom, right? But our big, beautiful brain tells us it's not safe. So I love that you address that safety, because it is so potent and powerful. I'm guessing there's a way that anybody watching this could do that assessment.
Absolutely. The assessment is available as the first tool in your emotional mastery toolkit. And the shortcut way of getting there is eqquiz.com. There's a double Q in the middle, EQQUIZ.com. And what you get in your toolkit is the quiz where you reflect on these 18 different areas of emotion. You get your emotional mastery blueprint, which illustrates your results. You get the interpretation guide, which gives you an understanding of what your scores mean. There's a short 4-minute video clip on what is emotional mastery. And then you get the Whammies webinar. The Whammies webinar describes the challenges that can happen that get in the way of knowing your life purpose and living your life purpose. And also, I have available for a limited time an opportunity to have a call from me at a special price. When you and I talk, not you, well, you too, we can have that conversation. But when we talk about your unique blueprint, and it is unique because, as you know, we're like snowflakes. We are all unique. When we talk about your unique blueprint, you get insight about how and why you are, the challenges and the specific qualities that point to your life purpose. There's so much insight people get about that conversation. It makes the blueprint come to life. And then you have a vision for what can be next, because as you know, if we don't know we deserve our dream or have that vision, it's not going to happen. So it puts you on a path towards the life that you really want and deserve.
Thank you so much. That seems like a lot. So I encourage everybody. One of the things we really talked about at this Soulful Leadership Retreat was giving from generosity. And that seems really generous. So thank you for sharing that with our group.
You're so welcome.
I know you had some things you wanted to, there was something you wanted to teach us.
Well, my students often ask, well, how do I practice these mantras? We go around the Enneagram, it's reflected in your quiz and in your blueprint. And in my program, You get lots of mantras, which are words and phrases, and mudras, which are body positions. Traditionally, they're prayer or meditation positions. I take a lot of creative license with both of those, with the mantras and the mudras. And so we have just so many mantras and mudras for raising the gifts and lowering the challenges of all of these different personality types. And one day, one of the students asked, well, how do we practice these? And there's so many ways. I could answer that in so many areas. But the way that I have the most fun doing it is because I bike every day. As soon as I get on my bike with the first pedal stroke, I start to chant. Sometimes it's my own mantra. Often it is. Sometimes I have a new mantra with a new day because I need to feel and be in a different place than I was when I woke up or than I ever felt before. And sometimes it's a mantra that came from a coaching call. Either way, yeah, because you know what? These wounds and pains are archetypal. You know, we
Yes.
talked about, the theme of unworthiness, how common it is. And I hate to say this in a certain way, but it's true. When I talk my client through a really deep and beautiful process and they come out the other side, I want to go, me too. And so I take it on and we can all do all of these mantras. So anyway, to
I
answer,
always say, give a healing, get a healing.
give a
Because
healing, get a healing. So
there's
true.
always some like unique piece for me in every conversation that I have, where even if I've already worked on it, I get to upgrade it because I'm anchoring the vibration of the healed in.
So the way I answered this person's question is during that call, it was a group coaching call, a lot of mantras came up from different people in the call. So I took some of the mantras that were just front of mind and I started chanting them like I do when I'm on my bike. And they were like leaning in and they were laughing. And then they said, you're rapping. I'm like, I'm a rapper. I'm like, so white. How can I be a rapper? I don't know how to rap, but it was funny. But the point of of rapping or chanting, whatever you want to call it, is when you do it, your body creates a resonance. It starts to carry the meaning of the words. And as you know, that vibration is what we extend into the world. And then we start to attract exactly that. And that which we are chanting then becomes real. As you know a lot so much about
Yeah,
the brain.
you're anchoring the vibration into the body somatically. I love that.
Yeah, and so we anchor it twice. We anchor it in the brain with the mantra, with the words. We anchor it in the body with the resonance, with the energy of it. And together, those two anchors are so immediate and powerful to affect the change that you want. So I thought I'd do a little demo.
I love
But
that.
okay, so I have to have a disclaimer because I've been accused of being a monotone. I can't sing. I don't sing in front of people. And it's not that I'm going to sing. And also, I would dispute the fact that I'm a monotone. I would say I might be a tritone. And so I'm just going to assume that it's safe for me to do this in this container, and I'm going to do this for you all. So this is useful for you to join me if you can. I mean, you don't have to do it out loud right now, but for those of you who are listening and aren't being heard, I would invite you to join me because these might be useful for all of us. I use repetition on purpose. And so you'll hear me repeat things. And sometimes when I do that, I start to want to change the words and I let the words evolve as they come out and it becomes playful. And then what I've noticed too is in the repetition, I get closer and closer to what it is I really want or need. And so it's something that evolves. Okay, here we go. Okay. I have to feel my body. So get in your body, feel your sitting bones.
In your body.
Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the length of your spine. Just be present physically. It's safe to be me. I'm free to be me. Oh, I'm going to interrupt myself and tell you one more thing. As I say these words, and you just did it with me, Michelle, beautiful. As I say these words, feel the meaning of the words in your body. You could do what I'm doing. If you do something different, that's totally fine. But the idea of the power of this happens when you feel the meaning of the words in your body. So,
And for those of you who are listening, just think of it like an exotic dance where you're just moving your body more ecstatically, more intuitively.
Beautiful. Here we go. Big breath in. I'm safe to be me. I'm free to be me. I'm safe to be me. I'm free to be me. I'm free to be. Free to be. I'm free to be me. It's safe to be all that I am. It's safe to be all that I am. It's safe to be all that I am. And I stand in my power. I stand in my power. I stand in my power and let the world know I'm here. I stand in my power and let the world know I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. And enough of being shy. I'm here. I'm done with being shy. I'm here. I let the world know I'm here. I stand in my power and I'm here. I stand in my power and I'm here because I'm safe to be me. I'm free to be me. I'm free to be. That's an example.
Oh, what a beautiful statement, because we could all be safe to be ourselves and to be me and own it in our power. And I love feeling that in my body. That was
Yeah.
very powerful.
And if I were to say if there were one theme that I've seen most often, it is often that people don't feel safe to be all that they are. And I want you all, anyone who's hearing this, to know that, sometimes we're not safe, and trust yourself to know when it is safe, because it's smart, it's wise to know that you're not always safe and to have your guard up. And we need to know how to put our guard up, and we need to know how to drop it. And so if you could just imagine for a moment right now, just like a zipper, zip up your guard. But yeah, I felt that in you. Yeah, because sometimes we need that, right? And let's just practice dropping it. Zip it down. Yeah, your heart can be seen, your heart can receive, your heart can give and receive. There's this law of reciprocity that comes up. If we walk around zipped up all the time, we can't be in the law of reciprocity. We can't receive. We can't fully give. We can't give our gift to the world. So I like to practice things like I like to practice zipping up and zipping down because of the value of knowing when it's safe and when it's not safe. And when you recognize it's safe, whoosh, drop the guard and remind yourself, I'm free to be me. I'm safe to be me. I'm here.
Hmm. Now that is a very living magically philosophy. And I'm really, really grateful for you. And I know you're doing important work in the world. And I look forward to seeing more of what you're bringing out, because I know you have a lot of these amazing gifts, and that you're out there sharing them. And thank you so much for coming in and talking about some of the magic that you do. I look forward to seeing more of it.
Oh,
I
thank you so much, Rochelle.
I know that the embodiment of the power and the safety and the freedom is something we all aspire to. And with that, I will see you very soon. I'll see all of you very soon. And don't forget to live magically.